Shalom everyone, and welcome to our weekly study of Parashat HaShavua, and especially the magical Parashat Pinhas. Parashat Pinhas is known to be a very special parasha while studying the Zohar. The proof is, first of all, that you have a whole volume of the Zohar about Parashat Pinhas. Another one is Parashat Pinchas is known to contain most of the uh, healing information available in the Zohar. There's a lot of it, but there's almost a whole volume that is discussing the human body, the human anatomy, the physiology, and all properties of healing. So, what is so special about Parashat Pinchas that makes it so magical? Also, Parashat Pinchas is the parasha that always begins the challenging period, which is called the 3 weeks, Bein HaMeitsarim, the 3 weeks between 17th of Tammuz and the 9th of Av. These 3 weeks are known in the Hebrew calendar as days of, basically on the superficial level, days of mourning, although we learn from the Talmud and the Zohar and other great sages that to be sad, people don't understand the difference between mourning and sadness. To be sad is an offense. You should be sad only when you are contemplating about your mistakes and you're sad about them and you want to change them. However, the rest of the day, you're supposed to be excited and happy because we were created for one purpose and one purpose alone, which is connecting to the infinite power of the Creator. And since similarities attract, you cannot be sad and magical. You cannot be sad and divine. It's like this is two opposite things never live together. You have to be excited. You have to be resourceful and full of energy when you connect, when you do your daily job. And our daily job is, first of all, state of mind, the state of mind of we are here to connect the heaven and the earth, the light and the vessel, the creator and the creation. And that's our purpose as human beings. And we have no other purpose. Oh, we have all kinds of, uh, how should I say? We need to survive. So we need to eat to make sure we are protected. All of that stuff is just an excuse in order to face us with different opportunities or challenges that all of them are about how do we create a divine moment in a mundane, physical, boring, threatening, and sometimes even dark world. And one of the greatest moments in the whole Torah is the moment that we read yesterday, Parashat Balak, the last paragraph of Parashat Balak, which is basically the introduction to Parashat Pinchas. Why is Parashat Pinchas called after the name of Pinchas? Most of the parasha is not dealing with Pinchas. So why the parasha is named after Pinchas? And the answer is Pinchas created a, a path for all of us. And in order to achieve greatness, we need to follow Pinchas. So, what is the story? The story we read, as I said last week. The story is we can read it in the book of Numbers, chapter 25. Uh, from the beginning of the chapter, verse 1. And just to remind everybody, Parashat Balak is about Balak, the king of Moab, They're making an alliance with the leaders, the kings of Midian, and together with Balaam, who is the greatest wizard of darkness in the world. They don't like each other, all these three. They fought with each other, against each other in the past. Now, like anything in the world, and especially in the Middle East, we have a common enemy. Let's get together to destroy our common enemy, and then we can continue to fight with each other. They get together and they try, especially by the leadership of Balaam, to curse the Israelites with the very, very declared purpose committing a genocide, killing, destroying the Israelite nation just before they cross the Jordan and enter the promised land. They were afraid the Israelites are going to destroy them also because they were just neighboring Moab and the Midian, the camp of Israel at that time, across the Jordan from Jericho. So after they fail, because the Israelites' power was stronger than any witchcraft they had access to, then Bilam is giving them that advice. Take your most beautiful daughters, beautiful women, send them to the camp of the Israelites, seduce them. And when the Israelites are basically being seduced into a idolatry, idol worshiping, everything, that's the purpose, then the curse will start. And that's exactly what happens. And the curse is starting after they're sending the girls to seduce the Israelites, and there's a plague, and people start to die. Uh, Many people die. Okay. And then the story goes on, verse 6, chapter 25, והנה איש מבני ישראל בא ויקרב אל אחיו את המדיינית. And then a person among the Israelites, we know it was one of the leaders of the tribe of Shimon, one of the most respected leaders. He takes a Midianite. We learned this Parashah Kozbi Batsur. She was the daughter of one of the five kings of Midian. And he just challenging Moses. You had a Midianite wife. Why can't I have a Midianite whenever I feel like? What about all of those? You can't, you shouldn't, and so on, all of these rules. He's challenged it. And then it says it was in front of Moses and the whole congregation of the children of Israel. Vehema bochim petach Ohel Moed. And they are crying. All of them are standing by the tabernacle at the gate, at the entrance of the tabernacle, and they are crying. They are helpless. They have no idea what to do, and they are in shock of the great plague happening in front of them. People die by thousands. And then, Vayar Pinchas ben Elazar ben Aaron HaKohen, and Pinchas, the son of Elazar, the son of Aaron HaKohen. Pinchas was a grandson of Aaron the high priest, and he takes a spear and he goes after the Zimri and Cosbi into the tent, and he spears both of them, and the plague stops after 24 people died. 24,000 people died. Okay, that's the end of Balak. So the question is, what is the story over here? What do we learn over here? What's the connection between Pinchas, his action, and our ability to deal uh, with just starting today, the 3 weeks of judgment? How do we deal with that judgment? Because we'll see it's all in this parasha. And why is Pinchas being rewarded to become the high priest by himself for him and his and all his offspring for till the end of days. And more than that, the words in this parasha, the beginning of the parasha, are very powerful. And as it says in the parasha, Pinchas ben Elazar ben Aaron Kohen. That's how the parasha starts, verse 11, chapter 25. Pinchas, and now you can see on the top right, under the arrow, you see over there, Pinchas got another letter to his name, Yud, and it's a small Yud. Okay? That's a special thing. Got this added letter Yud. We'll talk about it. And then Pinchas, the son of Elazar, the son of Aaron a Kohen, he basically removed or brought back the wrath of God from upon the children of Israel, Bekano et kinati, when he was zealous, my own zealousy, betocham, in the midst of them, velo chiliti et bnei Israel, and because of him, thanks to him, I did not exterminate the children of Israel with my zealousy, thanks to Pinchas. And therefore, it continues, Lachen emor hineni noten lo et briti shalom. And therefore, say, I'm giving him my covenant, shalom. And by the way, again, whoever did not hear me explaining that, the word shalom does not equal peace. Okay? In different languages, the same word covers different aspects. Okay? The word peace, the English word peace, that is coming from Latin, okay, means no bloodshed, no war. Okay? We have a word exactly like this in Hebrew. It sounds even the same. Peace, lehafis, means so people are not angry and feisty and fighting anymore. That's the word peace in Hebrew. Lefayes, the verb is to make people stop fighting each other. However, the word used in Hebrew is usually the word shalom. Shalom covers the meaning of peace, but it's a much broader word. The word shalom is coming from the word shalem, a whole, and bringing or like so, which means in Hebrew, shalom means we are all one. We cannot without each other. We complete each other. So there's a huge difference between the meanings of the word peace and the meaning of the word shalom. And here Pinchas is giving the covenant of shalom. It's not peace, it's completion, wholeness. Only when a person or a society reach wholeness, we can experience a real, sustainable peace. Okay, so where is this coming from? So we have a very, very important Zohar to study about it, and that will help us understand Pinchas, his message, and more than that, the message of Shalom, which is also the message of health and healing. Okay, so I'm reading from the Zohar of Parashat Pinhas, verse 11. Very important words. Man tachaze, come and see. Man de mekane lishma de kadisha de kucha b'yichu. Whoever is zealous for the holy name of the holy blessed be he, afilu lo yizke ligdula, vela yitchaze la, ravach la v'natil la. Pinchas la yitchaze le ba'u zimna. Okay. Somebody has a zealousy He's zealous for the name of God. And I'll explain what does it mean. He will achieve what he did not, what he was not supposed to get earlier. He will earn it, he will take it. פנחס להתחזלה בהוא זמנה ובגין דקינא לשמה דמראה. Pinchas did not, was not a special person. Yes, he was a grandson of Aaron the high priest. He was not a priest by himself. When Aaron and his sons got the priesthood, they were anointed, okay? When they were anointed by the holy anointing oil, Pinchas was already a grown-up person. He only the ones who were born later on to those anointed, they got the priesthood. Pinchas did not. So he was a commoner. Okay? His action awarded him a great level of priesthood and more than that. Pinchas להתחזה בהזמנה, uh, Pinchas was not worthy of priesthood at that time. However, ובגין דקינא לשמה דמראה, since he was zealous to the name of his master, רווח לכלה, he earned all of that. וסליק לכלה, and he was ascended. He ascended to a level that nobody could dream about. ויתקן בי קולה, and got, uh, he was established. He created a tikkun that awarded him such a great level. וזכה להשתמשה בכהונה עילה, and therefore he was he got to be the high priest, to serve as a high priest. From that moment, פנחס בן אלעזר בן אהרון הכהן, דאשלים ליטרין דרגיד. What he did, he completed 2 levels, and one of the result was that, I'll explain, he also corrected the sin of his uncles, Nadav and Avihu, and they came into his body to incarnate into him. Now he had 3 souls, his own, Pinchas, Nadav and Avihu, and some other sparks of high souls, and he reached a level that nobody achieved before, begin the kanel ishma demoich, since he had the zealousy for the name of God. Veitakan ma'itakan. And he corrected what went astray before. Let me explain the story. The story is, to go into some more details, when 24,000 people are dying around, people die like flies, we have that challenging moment in which Zimri takes Cosby to sleep with her in front of the whole congregation. Everybody's in shock, everybody's crying, including Moses. And Pinchas goes to Moses and says to Moses, Moshe Rabbeinu, Moshe, our teacher, didn't you teach us that's what should be done in a case like this? Like Moses taught them all the laws. He taught them also that in a case like this, the only way to stop what's happening, the judgment that was aroused by the Israelites having free love and worshiping the idols of the Moabites and the Midianites, all together like free love, uh, multicultural worshiping of any idol, because everything goes, because everything is okay, because every human being comes with the right good intentions, and we have to give him that kind of benefit of the doubt. In a case like this, it said that the couple who doing that should be killed by the moment at the moment. Everybody forgot it, including Moses, who taught that. How come Pinchas remembered and mentioned Moses and then followed up and did it? And we here learn one of the most important rules that we learn in a beginner's course for Kabbalah. And the rule is the rules of overcoming, which means we're here in this world for one purpose and one purpose only. We're here to turn the darkness into light. We're here to turn the bitterness into sweet. We're here to overcome darkness and negativity. We're here to overcome evil. We're here to overcome the dark side of each one of us. And we're here to overcome the dark side of the creation. That dark side was created for one purpose. His service is serving the purpose of the creation. And what is the purpose of the creation? The Creator, blessed be He, the Creator with His infinite light created us as His vessels so we can enjoy all the greatness of light and wisdom and beauty that He has for us to enjoy. However, since He created us, He could not give us less than everything, and He gave us His image. And having the image of the Creator in you means that you are independent. You cannot have other people or others make you happy. You have to create your own happiness. You have to earn your greatness. You have to transform the darkness into light in order to earn the light. And therefore, the Creator created the dark side so we can turn the darkness back into light. And by this, we earn the greatness of the creation. Because by removing the darkness, by transforming the darkness, we create the greatness, godliness, and that basically is the story. How do we do that? Every time we experience darkness, every time we face darkness, injustice, evil, whatever you name it, because endless darkness has endless faces, but it's all the same. It's all the dark side. And it's all there for one purpose, to challenge us, to make us, to force us to create a miracle. And the word miracle in Hebrew, lanus velitnoses, nes, means to flee up and above the box of what reality looks like. Reality looks like, uh, what can we say? There is no justice in our world. There is no mercy in our world. The bigger one is eating the small ones. It's in the ocean. It's in the forests everywhere. The strongest are the ones who take over, eat the weak ones, and take over what they have. There's no justice. You're bigger, you are the righteous one. Okay? How do you turn the world into a world of justice, mercy, and shalom? You have to transform the darkness. That's our job as humans. And here Pinchas is facing this amazing, immense wave of darkness. Like all the darknesses looked like it's being unleashed. People die like flies. Who released that negativity? People. We have to remember it's all in our hands in this dimension. We are the creators. We have to take responsibility for what we create. We go against the rules, then basically the flow of light, they just a little bit earlier protected the Israelites from the curses of Bilam and Balak and the Midianites. And the Israelites don't even know that they have this light dome that deflects all of those horrible curses that had the power to destroy nations. Okay? Just a little bit earlier, they were protected. The moment they went off the road and they betrayed the covenant, and the covenant is not just, what does it mean a covenant? That you have a word, that you keep your word. And in Hebrew, it's a very powerful mix of understanding. The word covenant is brit. Brit means a covenant, but it's also circumcision. The covenant, which means have being loyal by all levels, spiritual and even sexual. Having that kind of loyalty that we know one of the strongest drives of a human being is a sexual drive. Brit is also the circumcision. That's why, when you celebrate circumcision in Hebrew, it's Brit. Are you going to the Brit? You're not going to the Brit. It's called Brit. Covenant. Okay, so what's happening over there? Everything is falling apart. The moment the Israelites broke the covenant, they slept with the Midianites and the Moabites, and they worshiped their idols. The covenant was broken, the plague started. Okay? Cause and effect. Is that because God is evil? No, we have to remember God gave us the freedom in this dimension to choose between protection or destruction. The moment you choose to leave the covenant, here the destruction is in front of you. So, and horrible destruction. 24,000 people died in a very short time. So what's happening with Pinchas? Instead, so let's say not all the Israelites sinned, but they participated by being in shock instead of rising to the moment. Pinchas was the only one who rose to the moment. So the Zohar is saying as follows. Pinchas, he rose to the moment. What did he do? So let's explain. Let's go back to the rule of overcoming. When we realize that we are being taken by the dark side, we are being taken by either all the dark faces of the dark side, could be anger, shame, guilt, um, could be greed, lust, whatever. It just, we know, we have to know all of them in order to be able to fight them. But the moment they take over us, we have to take uh, the technology, which basically is stop, apply total judgment, stop, come to a full stop. At the same time, ascend to the light, which means, do I want the greed? Do I want the lust? Do I want the anger? Do I want that dark energy? Or do I want the eternal light of the Creator? So I have to stop and focus on the light. What if I cannot focus on the light? So you try again and again and again till you have a firm connection to what you really want instead of connected to what you don't want. Even being scared and hysterical is part of the dark side. Most of the Israelites were hysterical. They were crying instead of trying to solve the problem. You know what's the problem? When we are basically focusing on the problem and not on the solution. Focusing on the darkness, which is easy, but darkness brings more darkness. While focusing on the light is going to bring you more light. So Pinchas simply saw, was the only one who saw the chaos. He saw death. He saw the angel of death. He saw the collapse of the whole structure of the camp of the Israelites. Some are betraying the covenant by idol worshiping and sleeping with the Midianites and the Moabites, and some betrayed the covenant by standing there and being hysterical and crying. And he simply stopped that and connected to the light. I don't know if it happened in an instant or he tried a few times. It doesn't matter. What matters is that he made it. He made it, and therefore, when he connected to the light, you connect to power, you connect to wisdom, you connect to God, which means you have the power and the wisdom. And there, suddenly, he realized what should be done. He came to Moses. He said, Moses, you taught us what should be done. And then he had the power to do that. Miracles upon miracles happened. He executed two human beings. This is not allowed. What it says, do not kill, right? That was one instant you could without even court. But there was a miracle. He killed them both in one shot. And then the legend says he had the power to lift the spear with them. So everybody could see, so everybody could witness what they were doing. However, that was too much for him. He also knew that the people of the tribe of Shimon, he killed Zimri, who was one of the leaders of Shimon, they will kill him. He knew he's not coming out of it alive. He didn't mind. He knew that should be done to stop the plague and return the light dome over the Israelites. And that was his purpose. And because that was his purpose, a miracle happened. Yes, his soul, Pinchas' soul, left his body, says the Zohar. He died a clinical death. But when he corrected that, without realizing, he also corrected the two souls of his two uncles. The 38 years earlier, they died sacrificing incense in the temple, in the tabernacle. They were burned by the light revealed, and they died. He corrected their souls, and they entered his body, and his soul went back to himself. And when he woke up, he was not Pinchas anymore. So let's continue reading the Zohar. So I'm reading verse 16 in Zohar Parashat Pinhas. What we just I spoke about, this is the secret that we have to apply. This is the secret, especially in these 3 weeks, but anytime. When we face injustice, darkness, pain, misery, or greed, or lust, all of these different faces of the dark side, we need to activate that power to overcome. That means sticking to the covenant. That means ascending and getting what we didn't deserve before, achieving something that is out of the box. And that's a miracle. So the Zohar continues, who does that remind us? So that reminds us Joseph. Joseph, Yosef HaTzadik, he earned greatness. He earned that name Tzaddik. When? When he was in bed with the wife of his employer, and he was very much in lust with her, and she was also. And she had the right to do it, and in Egypt that was common, that the mistress could tell the slave to do whatever she wanted. And he, Yosef, in her bed, without his clothes, he simply stopped the reaction and he connected to the Almighty God. And he knew that the only thing he could do is simply to run away. And he ran away. He ran away, and the result she blamed him for rape. and he was locked into jail for 12 years. He knew, by the way, that he did the right thing. He never regretted it. But one thing that happened, Yosef, he got an extra hey in his name. So I'm reading again, verse 16. Rabbi Chia Patach. There's a verse he's quoting from um, Psalms 81. Psalms 81. עדות ביוסף שמו בצאתו לארץ מצרים. The testimony of Joseph. And here the name Joseph has the letter Hey added to it. Not Yosef, Yehosef. הרי למדנו, so we know that Joseph, he did also something of the same nature, and he got the additional letter Hey to his name. Afkan, the same thing, Pinchas, got an additional letter Yud, as we said before. Okay? The additional letter, now Pinchas, could be read in Hebrew without writing the letter Yud, but in here, the letter Yud was added to his name. And the Zohar that added Yud because he was zealous for the name of God. That the Yud over here, it's a small Yud. Small Yud, that means Malchut, the Shekhinah. Same thing, the letter Hey added to Yosef. Now he is the guardian of the Shekhinah, the divine presence. I continue in verse 20 in the Zohar. Pinchas zachri behai alma, vezacha be'alma de'ate. So, first of all, we know that in both cases, both Pinchas and Yosef rose to a status they have never been before. They were commoners, they were simple people. He is a slave, and they reached because of their, or thanks to their ascension, the power to overcome whatever is dark, transform the moment into greatness. Therefore, when we come to look at those 3 weeks of judgment, or when we come to look at any other challenge, could be a financial challenge, health challenge, whatever challenge we have, the moment we feel the load of the darkness, the pain, the pressure, the inconvenience, and whatsoever, all of that, we have to realize here we are being faced by an opportunity. And today, the world is starting to realize that. This is not a disaster, this is an opportunity. Why? The moment you define whatever happens as a disaster, that's it, it's fixated. Your brain is fixated, this is a disaster. You go into a state of mind of a victim, and you basically, your physiology is falling apart, and that's the way out, giving up. The moment you realize that you have the choice, and your choice is to choose to be a winner, to be basically to establish the covenant. Establishing the covenant is huge over here because the covenant is that we have a covenant with the Creator. Who is my ruler? Not the dark side. My master and my ruler is the Almighty Creator. And when I reestablish my connection, my covenant, I'm not allowing any dark lord to control me. The only one who controls me is the one who I have a covenant with. It's the Almighty. And when I do that, and I make him my master, my king, my ruler, my physiology is changing. I'm not feeling stress anymore. My brain is changing. I don't feel in trouble. I feel I'm at war and I'm a victorious fighter. I am the knight of the light. I'm the warrior of the light. That transformation is the only one that can stop ongoing strife, hurt, victimization, stress, all the darkness that fill us. And what the Zohar is saying, basically, when we allow that to take over, we're worshiping the Dark Lord. We're worshiping the dark side. And here, it's a package deal. The moment you worship him, you lose the light dome, protective shield. You are connected to despair. Despair is the sword of the angel of death. Despair will destroy your metabolism, your physiology, your immune system. Despair will get your body to transform into a sick, dying uh, machine with a death wish. The whole secret of health and healing is over here. So when you achieve that connection, whatever we say in verse 20, Pinchas zache behalama v'zacha be'alma de'ate. Pinchas, he earned this world and the upper world. וזכה לקיימה יתיר מכל עינוי דנפקו ממצרים, and therefore he lived longer and he had an existence more than anyone who got out of Egypt. He became the high priest, him and all his children after him. And he lived longer than anyone else because Pinchas continued to live for many, many centuries. He was so divine, like an angel, that people stopped calling him Pinchas. They started to call him Elijah, Eliyahu, which is basically a combination of two of God's names. He was so godly. He was Elijah, the prophet, Eliyahu Hanavi. And we know Eliyahu never died. He went to heaven with a chariot of fire. And after that, he comes back whenever he's needed. Every time there is a Brit Milah for a Jewish child. How do you start the Brit Milah? With the words Pinchas ben Elazar ben Aaron HaKohen. You invite Pinchas, Eliyahu, Pinchas. Who Eliyahu, says the Talmud. Pinchas is Eliyahu. And you put a chair and you invite Elijah the prophet to the Brit because he is the man of the covenant. He is the prophet of the covenant. He is the angel of the covenant. So whenever we need to step up and ascend to the covenant, the connection to the Almighty, we can ask for the help of Elijah because he's the angel of the covenant. And there when it says, "V'natati lo et briti shalom," you can see the word shalom, the last word on the bottom left. The letter Vav, it's the second letter from the left, is broken. It's the only place in the Torah that the letter Vav is broken, and it should be like this. Any other place in the Torah, a letter is broken, the Torah is not kosher. You cannot use it. It cannot be the channel for the godly light. Here, the letter Vav is broken, and it creates two letters, a Yud on the top and Vav at the bottom. And these two letters in the name of God, they are two male letters that symbolize the awakening of the light from above. Because when you awaken, excitement, devotion, love, desire for the light of God from below, it aruta diltata. awakening from below, you are pulling upon yourself the awakening of the male awakening from above, the healing power from above. It is healing only when you awake with devotion from below. In many, many places, there are descriptions of spontaneous healing of people all over the planet. People do heal spontaneously from different diseases. It could be from cancer, could be from all kinds of other diseases. And I've seen with both eyes. Uh, One thing in common for all of them is when the person is reconnecting to the covenant with the godliness, which means it's awakening the malchut, the judgment from below, awakening not to overcome everything and to take over, but to become a vessel to the Almighty God, to the endless, infinite light and loving light of the Creator. When a person does that and is changing the course of his thinking, feeling, then he can experience health, healing from the worst diseases. This is a story, this awakening of healing. And therefore, we have in this parasha, the next story is God is telling Moses, צרור את המדיינים והכיתם אותם. You should attack the Midianites. You should hit them. Why? Revenge? Yes, sometimes you need people who are there to kill you and just to kill you, and they do it again and again and again. And the murderers, sometimes the only way to have victory is simply to finish them off. But the source of the word Midian is din, judgment, judgment. But there are five kings to Midian, five judgments. Those five judgments, they connect to something else. They connect to the final letters because five times judgment, five times the word din, okay, the five kings of Midian, it's all codes. They come to 280. 280 is the five final letters in the Torah. And that goes together with another story of the Torah that we have the five daughters of Tzlofchad. That they say the father died and they approach Moses. What about our inheritance? We don't have a man in our family. And that's remind us, Parashat Balotcha, when the people could not celebrate Passover came, we want the light too. Same thing over here. That's always awakening from below, not feeling remorse and guilt, but feeling I want to connect to God and I deserve to connect to God. And those five daughters of Tzlofchad, by the way, Tzlofchad, the fact that Tzlofchad is a name that is basically a connection or combination of two Hebrew words, Tzel Pachad, the shadow of fear, the angel of death. And here, when you have those five girls coming to Moses saying, we deserve to have if God is almighty and his desire is to give to everyone, there's no way we'll stay homeless. Which means that's one of the main ideas of healing, or victory, or the power to overcome. When you awaken inside you a pure judgment, a holy judgment. And what's the holy judgment? There's no way God is going to leave me without sharing with me. There's no way God doesn't love me. And that we find in the book of Numbers. Uh, chapter 27, verse 1, when we have that direction to fight the judgment, to fight but also it's also about those daughters of Tzlofchad. So the stories of Parashat Pinchas look like they don't connect to each other. All of them do connect to each other. Midian, five kings of Midian, Din, the five daughters of Tzlofchad, and the power of healing. And then we have in the book of Numbers, chapter 26, verse 1, we go back a little bit. And it was after the plague, and there's empty space and a new line in the middle of a sentence. You see, there's no comma, there's no period in the middle of the sentence. Never you have it in the Torah. But the law of writing a Torah says you have, after the word magefa, to start a new paragraph. Why? Because the white light is symbolized by the parchment. So here, what destroys the plague? The white light, which is the space after the word magefa. How do you connect with to the white light? You have to reawaken the covenant, where it says more than the cow wants the milk. More than the calf wants the milk, his mother cow wants to feed him the milk. More than we want God's light, he wants to give it to us. However, without us arousing the will, the desire, the passion, the devotion, the desire for God's light, we can't have it. So when we awaken that, that's when we kill the darkness. That's when we kill the angel of death. So therefore, we have to quote one of these most famous verses in the Zohar Parashat Pinhas. This is verse 386 in the Sulam commentary. Adehavu Azlei, it's called the Essay of the Eagle. Adehavu Azlei, as they were walking, Rabbi Shimon and his disciples, Ata Nisha Ravreva, a big eagle came and was hovering above the head. Aschar al Reishayo. Vekama kaima alayo. So it was hovering. You know how eagles, they simply ride the breeze and they stand in one spot. Amar Rabbi Pinchas. So Rabbi Pinchas said, Vadai idan reuta washta. If we see that eagle, this is the time of goodwill right now. Bashatain, this time, itpatchu tar'ei derachamei. This is the time to open the gates of mercy. Lechol inun bein marei, for whoever is on a deathbed. Vehu zmana le'asvatalon, and this is the time to heal them. So, the eagle is the symbol of healing. So, I'm going to go back two parashot backwards to Parashat Chukat, the red heifer. What's a red heifer? So the Zohar was saying, the red heifer, we have a cow. The cow is a female of the ox. Who is the ox? In the vision of Ezekiel chapter 1, we have the chariot, and the chariot has four faces. The face of a lion to the south, chesed, loving kindness. The face of the ox to the north, which is judgment. The face, and that's the female of the cow, that's the judgment. And the face of an eagle to the east. The eagle is, if the south is loving kindness and the north is judgment, then the east is mercy. The synthesis between the right and the left, the plus and the minus, the loving kindness and judgment and passion. which is also fire. Now, when you merge both, when you have passion, awakening with faith and love and kindness, you create the central column. You create the synthesis. This is the eagle healing. ואף על גב דהינון אסירין דמלכה, although the ones who are on their deathbed, they're considered to be the prisoners of the king. Why are they bedridden? Oh, they are in jail. They simply broke the covenant some way or another. And the fact is that they made a covenant with the angel of death when giving up, when basically allowing darkness to take over. Now they are prisoners of the king. So they learn how to heal. And now when the eagle comes in, this is a sign. Daha nishra da simana derchameu. The eagle is the symbol for the central column, the synthesis. Now the mercies of God, the love of God, is adjacent, connected, synthesized with the passion from below. But this is a passion for light, a passion for awakening, not a passion for negativity, not a passion for anger and whatever is dark. That is the healing power. That the eagle is the symbol of that healing power. So when we go to read verse 399 in the Sulam commentary, what is the beginning of Ma'amar Ivarim Apnimim, the essay of the internal organs. Over there, the Zohar explains how each internal organ is basically a dwelling place for another part of a human personality, of emotions. And of course, we feel with our hearts, but we also hate with our hearts. We also, when upset, we take to the heart. And it's a big secret. And therefore, especially the heart, come and see. תחזה, ליבה האתמר, אבל לב דיון נורה דדליק. ואלמלא דזמין לגבי מלכה אלה כנפי רע, דעתיין לקמי ירוחה, מירוחה דנשיב מגו בוסמין אלאין, הווה וקיד לעלמא ברגע חדה. Translation. Come and see the heart as we learned. The heart is a burning fire. And if the Creator did not put the lungs next to it, and the lungs, they blow wind from higher perfumes into the heart. Without it, the heart will burn the whole world in an instant. And that's why when somebody is really angry, he becomes red. And one of the ways, breathe deeply 10 times. When you breathe, you cool the burning of the heart. When you stop and breathe deeply, then you allow the lungs to cool the heart down. The meaning is that in the heart, you have the left column of Sfirat Binah. Without the left column of Binah, without Chasadim, without loving kindness, can burn the whole world. The lung, which is right column, Chesed, okay? When it blows, it cools down the judgment and makes it sweetened. So when we breathe deep and we think about God's endless, infinite love to us and to his creation, and we breathe deep, we can overcome the darkness of the judgment, because judgment without chesed is darkness because it burns everything. Okay? And that's a very important thing. So that's basically the secret of healing. Now, if you want to study healing according to the Zohar, there's a whole course. There's a link underneath the uh, this YouTube video, a link to the healing course online. Over there, we go into much more details. But there's another gift that we have over here by the same context. We are now coming to days of judgment, 3 weeks from the 17th of uh, Tammuz to the 9th day of Av. And the Arizal, Rabbi Zaklura, is teaching us a special meditation to sweeten the judgment on a daily basis. So, we know that one of the most powerful meditation, especially the meditation that we use to bring in the power of healing and also the power of sustenance and all that is good, is meditating on the tetragrammaton, Chesed, Gvura, and Tiferet, right, left, okay, Chesed on the right, Gvura, judgment on the left, and Tiferet, mercy in the middle. However, during the 3 days, the 3 weeks of judgment, we add to it another meditation. And that meditation has the power to sweeten judgments, to turn the deepest darkness into sweet light. Okay, how do we do it? So the Arizal, Rabbi Zakloria, is teaching us that when we meditate on the tetragrammaton on the right side, we meditate that the light of the tetragrammaton will shine through kind of a screen made of 4 other letters. Where are these letters from? If you take the sequential order of the letters, so then the letter Yud is number 10, number 9 is the letter Tet. The letter He is number 5, number 4 is the letter Dalet. The letter Vav is number 6, number 5 will be the letter He. Again, the letter He is number 5, the fourth letter will be Dalet. So you get on the right Tet, Dalet, He, Dalet. So you meditate on the tetragrammaton, the Youdkevitch, and you meditate shining the letters Tet, the letter Tet, Dalet, Hey, Dalet, that it will shine through it. Okay? So when you meditate Youdkevitch on the right, you meditate that these letters shine through Tet, Dalet, Hey, Dalet. Okay, and then when you meditate on Youdkevitch to the left, then you add 4 other letters, and these 4 letters will be Kaf, Vav, Zain, Vav. As we said, the letter Yud is a number 10. Number 11 is Kaf. The letter Hey is number 5. Number 6 is the letter Vav. You just take one letter above. You get the letters Kaf, Vav, Vav, Zain, Vav. So when you meditate on Yud, K, Vav, K on the right, okay, then that's Kaf, Vav, Zain, Vav. And then the same thing in the middle. Here, the sequence is different. Then you use the code Atbash. The letter 10, the letter Yud is 10 from the beginning. You take the 10th letter from the end, which is Mem. Okay? The letter Hey, number 5 from the beginning. You take number 5 from the end. Okay? Which is Tzadik. And then the letter Vav. Okay? 6 from the end. You take 6 from the end. 6 from the beginning. You take 6 from the end. The letter Pei. The letter Hey is 5 from the beginning. Okay? You take the 5th from the end, which is Tzadik. That gives you Mem Tzadik Pei Tzadik. So what do? You meditate. Yudke Vav Pei from the right and shine the light through Tet Dalet Hey Dalet. Yudke Vav Pei on the left and Kaf Vav Zayin Vav, shine the light through it. In the middle, Yudke Vav Pei, and you shine the light through Mem Tzadik Pei Tzadik. Together, these 3 sequences give us the number 360, which is also, it's a very magical number. It's a number to turn. When you say somebody, it's like you went through 360 degrees. Okay, but that's a complete turn from darkness to light, turning from judgment to shalom. Even the word shalom starts with a shin, and that's another lecture about the days of Bein HaMeitsarim. Not over here, but make sure during these 3 weeks to do this meditation daily in order to get the power to transform the judgment into revelation. Okay. Thank you so much and have a great, great week. 3 weeks of transforming negativity into positivity. And in the end, the last day, 9th of Av, it's a secret of turning the angel of death into the Messiah, turning the snake into Mashiach. And that is the secret of these 3 weeks. All the best.